Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're cracking open a new bottle of Tullibardine Artisan single malt Scotch whiskey. It's a Scotch day today. Here we go on here. So we had done a Tullibardine. I think we had a 12-year one back when we did it the last time. But when Mike bought it, he bought both of these. So I'm kind of curious to see. Comes in a pretty little box like this. Curious to see what it is. Let's get in the particulars on it, and then let's get it in our face. So this one comes in at, we got it for $23.99. It's 80 proof. It's non-age stated. So this is distilled by the Tullibardine Distillery out of Blackford, Scotland. It's imported by the Prestige Beverage Group out of Mendota Heights, Minnesota. It is a single malt matured in ex-bourbon barrels made exclusively for the United States.
I did pre-open that.
You did not. I think he sabotaged me. Is what happened. This one's just, I'm going to have to pause this. All right, so we are back. And I made a massacre of this thing. This thing did not want to come off. So let's hopefully it tastes better than it was to try to get it open.
It was pretty funny watching. He's going to cut it all out.
I'm going to have to edit that out. It just took me like 10 minutes to get the thing off.
It was pretty funny.
Whatever it is, the material it ripped instead of actually just staying together.
Wow, it's light.
No, it's a non-age stated, but then again, it's you don't have to change the climates over there in Scotland. You know what I mean? It's rainy. Doesn't it just rain every day?
That's London.
That's also Scotland. I think I don't think they have the huge change in climates.
Not temperature. It's probably just like the same, humid.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's pretty fruity nose, actually.
I've never been. I did have a timeshare booked and I canceled it one time. 3-bedroom. But
I've never been.
went. Ryan was just a baby and I freaked out. I'm like, I don't want to have him fly all the way over there. He was little.
The nose is very fruity.
What kind of fruit?
You and your what kind of fruit?
No, I definitely get your fruit. I'm in like the orange zest.
I was almost
like
actually in a peach land.
Okay. I can see it. It's kind of the same family.
It was more the peach that's been there for a little bit. Actually,
the overripe one?
Yeah. Ooh, the flavor's actually not too bad. It's got a sugary finish to it.
It had a different finish to it.
Mine was like sugary, which would then acute to my ripe peach.
Yeah.
To a sugary finish, because an overripe peach is kind of sugary.
So if you watch the channel long enough, there's only been one Scotch that ended with like that skunky beer flavor to me, and it was the Monkey Shoulder.
Oh.
And right at the very end of this one, I thought I got that flavor. It's not in a bad way. Not in a bad way, but it gives you that little twang of like the skunk cabbage smell for those of you that are country folk. It'll confuse me because I could always pick Monkey Shoulder out of a thing because I always get that little twang at the end.
I'm not getting that. We had a bourbon or something that had that funk to it, but I'm not getting it out of
No,
this.
that was terrible. That was that Poppy Van Buren. Yeah. Oh, I get it at the end. I definitely get it at the end.
I don't really get that.
Right, like now it's after you swallow. It's right when you swallow, and then the residue at the end.
There's a weird
taste.
There's a weird numbness to this though for an 80 proofer.
I will agree with that.
On your tongue, there's like a weird numbness that hangs around, which I usually don't get in Scotch or anything really. It's usually like whoop,
right?
Which it is still pretty whoop, but it's.
This would be a good one for me to put up against Monkey Shoulder actually, because future Tom, write that down though, because we don't have a lot of Scotch in there. It really has a similar profile to me. I know that's a blend of Scotch whiskeys. It has that same. I'm talking about the end. The flavor on it is actually nice throughout. Like as you're rolling it on your tongue, it has a nice maltish flavor. It's just at the very end. And again, there's a few Scotch people out there that watch us. I'll be curious. if that's all in my head, or leave a comment down below if you get that. Like it's almost like a skunk.
I kind of get a sweetness out of the deal, but
you get that out of everything, though. There is a sweetness. I mean, it does have
it's a fruit start to a sweetness in the end, and it's not your dirty Band-Aid, flavor. I'm not disappointed. The price you can't go wrong with for that, in a box. It's all fancy. You
say that as you're rolling it on your tongue, it has a hint of that dirty Band-Aid flavor. It does. It does. Where it has.
You're supposed to be getting butterscotch.
I'm not getting butterscotch.
No, I'm not either.
Not gonna lie. There is 0 butterscotch % in here. 0. I am, on the other hand, getting a hint of a skunk cabbage at the end. So if that is that kind of butterscotchy, no, it's not. But I
only got that because I just reread it and I'm like, and I don't even know if I can say, because I do get a sweetness in the end, and it's nowhere near a butterscotch at all. But there is a huge fruit nose and an initial fruit hit, and a little sweetness towards the end. For me, that's kind of it there. It's a wicked easy drinker.
I can't believe you don't get that flavor at the end.
I
can't believe you don't get that. Again, I'm not blaming you. It's so.
And it's not going to make any difference.
No, it's so.
I don't.
I can't say prominent. I don't know why I can't say that word, but I had to think about it 3 times because I was going to say predominant, and that doesn't make sense. It's so prominent. Like it ends, and not only does it right when I swallow, I'm talking like the whole time I'm sitting here talking to you. That, and anyone who drank a Heineken or like this for the first time, it gives that skunk
I had a
beer.
shitload of Heineken because overseas that's all we could get.
But it gives you that little skunky tail. Like it has that little skunk.
Maybe
beer.
I'm immune to it.
Or the stuff that you made that was horrible. You remember that one?
I made.
Yeah, back when you were a kid and you got the first brew kit. Remember we tried to drink it? We couldn't even get it in it. It's terrible. But it has that skunk beer, like any green beer.
I might have forgot a step.
And any green beer that I've ever had always has that little twang to it. You know what I mean? Where it tastes like
you
it has a
might
little
now
skunk.
get this in the nose. I could almost get that in your nose now. Yeah. I do. Now that we just poured more.
Like it's just you don't have to. I'm just saying, I'll be curious. Those of you that drink this all the time,
because I'm not getting the fruit as much right now.
This reminds me, and again, the only other one I ever got it on was Monkey Shoulder, and I wonder if some of this is in Monkey Shoulder because I get that.
That was a little more proof, wasn't it, Monkey Shoulder?
I don't believe so. I know it was a blend. It wasn't a single malt. It was a blend of them. But I actually like it, and it was short money like this. I mean, for $23.99, you can't beat this with a stick if you're a Scotch person.
Well,
I mean, you can't find cheap Scotch.
It's a fancy bottle.
Yeah. It comes in with the happy little box. You know what I mean? It looks pretty on your shelf. You can put it in the happy little box. And honestly,
is it my go-to? No.
But there's not a other than the fact that, and I'm not a fan of eating skunk cabbage. Don't get me wrong, but I've grown accustomed. It has a generous amount of flavor until that aftertaste at the end, and it's just.
See, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting the skunk cabbage. Yeah. It does have a pretty good amount of flavor. I don't know if I'd go higher than. To me, this is B minus for me. I don't know if I'm going to go crazy on it. This is not my flavor profile,
right?
And I'm trying to even judge it in this land. It's not an 8 to me.
No, I'd have to put it up against other ones to see if it goes with it. I agree with that. Like a solid B. There's nothing bad about it. There's nothing great about it. It's average.
Yeah, B minus. I don't. You know what? For the price, especially. Maybe,
I don't think you're in the C land by any means.
No,
you know
I wasn't there.
No. I'm saying no. I like your B. It is good for what it is. I mean, if I factor in price, I would raise it up because I mean, for that price, it's tough to find Scotch at that price.
Yeah, I don't even know. Was this a sale item? I don't even know.
I don't know. This was a Luke's, actually. Luke is supporting us right now. Yeah. So I didn't realize you bought that when you were down there also.
That might have been a different time. This was when people requested, you got to try this one, you got to try this. And I wrote all those Scotches down. And then some lady came out and she's like, you're looking a little lost. I'm like, yeah, I can't find any of these. People are asking for this. She's like, it's over here. It's this color. She knew. She must have been she's the one who puts them out, obviously, because she's like, come down here, come over here. I'm like, okay, thank you for your help. Saved me about an hour and a half walking up and down looking for something that I couldn't find.
Probably why, because I said, does anyone have like a good tasting cheap Scotch? And you know what this is? A good tasting cheap Scotch. So this is probably one.
That was probably that category that I wrote down.
It's probably exactly what that was. But because I know there was a few times we were like, yeah, give us a list and we'll write
I don't know who someone did give us a whole list.
No,
I did. 2 of you guys did, and I did not write the name down. So I apologize.
No,
It was a while ago too.
I mean, if you're comparing this to like you said, when I used to, I almost have to go back and get one of them, like Clan McGregor and Inverhouse and all that stuff. When we used to drink them way back, when I used to drink them by the gallons, by the handleful, because I was just getting.
If you're gonna do well, you can get a fat one if you want, but I'd get a small.
No,
one.
I understand that, but I'm just curious how much worse it would be. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't mind putting this up against, like, throw it up against like the Doers we have over there or something like that. If you want to see a future Sunday Funny, leave it down below. And maybe I'll. We haven't done a Scotch one in a while.
No, we haven't.
I snuck you into one, that one time. But we got a generous pile of Scotch down there. I was waiting to. Jimmy was supposed to bring me back a sample of his. No, it's okay. It has a nice flavor. You know what I mean? It has a good taste, and I agree with you. A little spikiness on your tongue when
sweetness
for that 80 proof. It does.
Yeah.
It's not water-esque by any means.
You and I can wolf this one.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, there is a flavor there.
No, there is.
I mean? And there was a residual flavor, even though it's skunk
exactly.
There's
me. 2 or 3 flavors as it goes down.
Right, it stays.
But it is very easy. I'm not. I'm away from your. Well, this is away from, to me, in your Band-Aid land, where I did not like that.
I think you've just grown accustomed to actual Scotch. It'd be curious to see
as much
if we
as
did
you
it
want to
again.
say you want to go get Inverhouse or any of those.
I didn't say I did want to get. I just saying it'd be curious to see how it would fare.
It would be.
You know what I mean? To see, is it really that? That's what that tasted like too. But we just didn't like it back then. I drank so many of them because that was $14
for whatever reason,
handle,
this seems way fruitier and a little.
I guarantee this has way more taste. Guarantee it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm just
you were getting handles for.
I was getting handles for $14.
18.
14.
Oh, 14.
$14, and I was getting a 1.75 liter. So, and I threw it on ice and got it in me. So it didn't matter, what it was drinking back in the day. So, well, there you go. That's our review of this bottle. Again, if you guys have tried, just leave a comment down below. I'll be curious to see. And any more suggestions in this ballpark. I love to find a cheap Scotch that it has a ton of flavor.
No, it is. It is.
I will put this up against.
It is very tolerable.
I will put this up against Monkey Shoulder, though. I want to see if it has that same.
We could do a Sunday Funday and put it in there. I think it's probably close. That might be a little higher proof.
Well, I can throw it in the Blind Fight Friday too, and when it comes up, it comes up. You know what I mean? So, well, there you go. This is Tullibardine. Sorry if I'm massacring a name. Tullibardine Artisan Single Malt Scotch Whiskey.
It's not like I sample these.
No, I hear you.
They don't go down.
Only when Chip comes over because he's a Scotch fan.
Good for him. Go Chip.
Go. That being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.